Power always comes with a price. And in Tulsa King Season 3, that price is getting heavier by the day. The streets of Tulsa are quieter now, but it's not peace, it's the kind of silence that comes before chaos. Dwight the General Manfredi knows it too well. He's been through enough battles to recognize when something dangerous is brewing. The trailer for Episode 5 doesn't waste a second reminding us that nothing stays buried forever. Every look, every pause, every whispered word feels like a warning. Something big is about to break. Episode 5 promises to push Dwight further than ever before. The trailer opens with him standing alone under the flickering light of an old bar sign, smoke curling around him as if the city itself is breathing secrets into his ear. You can almost feel the weight on his shoulders, the enemies watching from the shadows, the trust he's starting to lose, and the power he's still trying to hold on to. Tulsa was supposed to be his fresh start, but every choice he makes seems to drag him deeper into a war he didn't start but refuses to run from. The tension from Episode 4 is still hanging in the air like a storm cloud. The betrayal, the lies, and the unfinished business, all of it comes rushing back in the trailer. Dwight's crew is starting to splinter. Some want to stay loyal, others see a chance to take control for themselves. There's a quick shot of Bodhi looking over his shoulder, a flash of Stacy watching from her car, and a voice calm but cold, saying, "You built this empire on borrowed time." That line alone sets the tone. It's no longer about survival, it's about dominance. The camera flashes between Tulsa and New York, showing that Dwight's past isn't done with him. A familiar face appears in a dark alley, a man from the old life, someone Dwight thought he'd never see again. The music swells, the beats get sharper, and then silence, followed by Dwight's voice saying, "I didn't come this far to kneel." It's raw, it's powerful, and it tells you everything you need to know about what's coming next. Episode 5 won't just be another chapter. It looks like the turning point that decides who truly controls Tulsa. Every decision Dwight made in Episode 4 now feels like a loaded gun pointed right back at him. The cracks in his empire aren't just showing, they're spreading fast. And the trailer for Episode 5 makes that crystal clear. Episode 4 ended with tension thick enough to cut with a knife. The uneasy alliances, the quiet threats, and the mistakes Dwight tried to bury are all circling back like vultures over a fresh wound. And now, in Episode 5, those ghosts are ready to collect their due. In Episode 4, we saw Dwight trying to keep his world from falling apart. He was stuck between loyalty and survival, between old friends and new enemies. The meeting with Chickie was the first sign that his control was slipping. Chickie's smirk, that cold, knowing smile, said more than any words could. It was a reminder that the New York mob hasn't forgotten him. The tension between them didn't explode then, but you could feel it simmering beneath every exchange. The trailer for Episode 5 teases that this silent war might finally erupt. There's a quick shot of Chickie sitting in a dimly lit office, his hand tapping on the table as if he's counting down to something. That rhythm alone feels like a warning, his patience is running out. Meanwhile, Dwight's own circle in Tulsa is beginning to question him. The crew that once looked up to him now whispers behind his back. Mitch, the bar owner, seems caught in the middle, loyal to Dwight but tired of cleaning up the chaos that follows him. The trailer shows a glimpse of Mitch arguing with Dwight outside the bar, his voice rising, his loyalty cracking. You can almost hear the pain behind his words. "You wanted to build something here, Dwight, but you're burning it down faster than you can build it." That single line tells us everything about where Dwight stands, isolated, misunderstood, and hunted by his own ambition. Bodhi, who started as Dwight's tech-savvy partner, seems to be taking a darker path to. In Episode 4, he made a few secret moves that Dwight doesn't know about yet. The trailer shows him meeting someone in a parking lot, exchanging a small black bag for an envelope full of cash. His face looks nervous, but determined, as if he's finally realizing that the safest way to survive Dwight Manfredi's world is to have an exit plan. Ready? Fans have already started guessing online. Is Bodhi betraying Dwight, or is he trying to protect him in his own twisted way? And then there's Stacy. Her story has been one of guilt and redemption since the start. In Episode 4, she tried to distance herself from Dwight, convincing herself that she was done with him, but the trailer shows otherwise. There's a haunting shot of her standing alone in front of her mirror, badge in hand, whispering something we can't quite hear. Then it cuts to a scene where she's following Dwight's car at night, headlights off, shadows chasing shadows. It's the kind of moment that tells us her story isn't finished, it's about to take a darker turn. One of the most powerful moments in the trailer flashes back to the ending of Episode 4, the quiet, heavy moment when Dwight looks out over the Tulsa skyline. That shot felt peaceful at first, but in hindsight, it was a warning. The camera lingers on his face just long enough to show that he knows something big is coming. Episode 5 is shaping up to be that explosion. The point, where all the small lies and hidden deals collide. The trailer uses silence like a weapon. There's no big explosion, no gunfire at first, just the sound of boots on concrete, whispers in the dark, and the faint hum of a city that's about to burn. Then suddenly, it cuts to chaos, tires screeching, a door kicked open, someone shouting Dwight's name. You can tell from the way it's edited that episode 5 won't hold back. It's going to be fast, emotional, and dangerous, the kind of episode that changes the course of the season. Every trailer frame seems to carry the same message: power doesn't last forever, and Dwight's about to find out what happens when the past refuses to stay buried. Whether it's Chickie's revenge, Bodhi's betrayal, or Stacy's divided loyalty, everything is closing in at once. The storm Dwight felt coming in episode 4 isn't a warning anymore, it's here, and there's nowhere left to hide. The trailer for Tulsa King Season 3, Episode 5 doesn't whisper, it roars. From the very first frame, it feels like a fuse being lit, a countdown to something explosive. You can sense the energy building, frame by frame, like every second is a heartbeat closer to chaos. What makes this trailer special isn't just the action, it's the emotion. It doesn't just show us what's coming next, it makes us feel the weight of it. Every shot carries tension, every pause feels like a threat, and every word spoken by Dwight sounds like it might be his last warning to anyone who dares to cross him. The first few seconds hit hard. Dwight walking through an empty street at dawn, his coat flapping in the wind, his face lit by the soft orange glow of sunrise. It's quiet, almost peaceful, until we realize what he's walking toward: a line of black cars parked outside a warehouse. The sound of the wind fades out, replaced by a slow, heavy heartbeat in the background. Dwight stops, stares for a moment, and says, "If they want a war, I'll give them one." That line sets the tone. It's not about survival anymore, it's about sending a message. Then, the music drops, a deep, pulsing rhythm that feels like the beating of a drum before battle. We see flashes of violence, fast and sharp, Dwight slamming a man against a wall, someone firing a gun into the air, a car speeding through the streets of Tulsa at night. There's a quick shot of Chickie sitting in a dark room with his lieutenants, cigarette smoke curling in the air. His voice cuts through the noise, calm but cold. "The king forgot who made him." It's the kind of line that sends chills down your spine, a reminder that power doesn't come without a price. And Chickie is finally ready to collect. The trailer also teases new faces. A woman in a sharp, black suit meeting Dwight in a quiet diner, her expression unreadable. Fans online are already speculating she might be tied to Dwight's past in New York. Someone with information that could change everything. There's a flash of her handing him a small envelope, saying, "You don't know the half of it, Dwight." Whatever's inside that envelope seems to shake him. His usually steady expression falters for a moment. And that's when you realize, even the king of Tulsa can be caught off guard. In between the chaos, there are moments of stillness that hit even harder. A scene shows Dwight sitting alone in his bar after closing time. The lights low, a glass of whiskey untouched in front of him. You can tell he's lost in thought, the weight of his choices pressing down. There's no dialogue, just silence and the sound of the city outside. Then, a voiceover, maybe his, maybe someone else's, says, "You can't build an empire on broken promises." It's haunting, and it feels like the theme of the entire episode. As the trailer moves forward, the pace quickens, the music grows heavier, the cuts faster. We see Stacy again, this time in a confrontation. Her voice trembles as she shouts, "You're going too far, Dwight." He looks at her, eyes cold, and replies, "Too far was yesterday." That single exchange captures everything Tulsa King stands for: loyalty, betrayal, and the dangerous line between justice and revenge. It's not just about who's right or wrong anymore. It's about who's willing to go the furthest to win. One of the most striking visuals comes near the end, an explosion lighting up the Tulsa skyline. We don't know who's behind it or who's caught in it, but the way the camera lingers on Dwight's face right after tells us this isn't just random violence. It's personal. He's lost something or someone important. The emotion in his eyes, even for a second, shows the pain behind his power. The price of being the king. The trailer's final moments are pure tension. A single phone rings. Dwight picks it up. The screen cuts to black just as a voice says, "They found her." No context, no face, just that one line. And then, silence. The title card appears. Tulsa King Season 3, Episode 5, The Reckoning begins. It's the perfect ending, leaving fans desperate for answers. replaying the trailer frame by frame, hunting for clues. Episode 5 looks like it's going to be the turning point, not just for Dwight, but for everyone around him. The way the trailer is built tells us this episode will tear down everything he's built. Every secret will surface. Every betrayal will come full circle. It's not just another episode, it's the spark that sets the rest of the season on fire. The question isn't who's going to win anymore. It's who will still be standing when the smoke clears. Episode 5 looks like more than just another chapter in Tulsa King's saga. It feels like a reckoning. The kind of episode where every choice made since the pilot finally crashes together in one fiery collision. The trailer leaves you with the feeling that something irreversible is about to happen. Dwight Manfredi, who has spent 2 seasons building his empire brick by brick, is now watching the cracks form beneath his feet. The question is no longer if he'll fall, it's how hard, and who will push him. There's a heavy sense of fate running through every second of the preview. The shots linger longer than usual, giving us glimpses of Dwight not as a gangster or kingpin, but as a man haunted by everything he's lost. His voice, once sharp and commanding, now sounds tired, as if he's fighting ghosts that only he can see. In one haunting moment from the trailer, Dwight says quietly, "When you build something out of blood, don't be surprised when it bleeds." That line feels like the beating heart of Episode 5, a reminder that every empire eventually demands a sacrifice. Fans who have followed Tulsa King know that Dwight's strength has always come from his stubborn sense of loyalty. But in this episode, that loyalty may be the very thing that destroys him. The tension between his Tulsa crew and his old New York ties has reached a boiling point. Each side is pulling him in opposite directions, and he's stuck in the middle, trying to protect both worlds while knowing he can't save either. The trailer's final moments, the phone call, the explosion, the whispered, "They found her," all hint at a personal loss that could shatter his last bit of control. Some fans believe it's Stacy, others think it might be Tina, his daughter. Whoever it is, it's clear that Dwight is about to lose something, or someone. That keeps him human. What makes this upcoming episode so gripping is the tone it sets for the rest of the season. The world of Tulsa King has always been painted in shades of gray. No clear heroes, no clean villains. But Episode 5 feels like the moment those shades start to turn black. The lines between revenge, redemption, and ruin blur completely. The trailer's rhythm, slow, tense, and deliberate, makes it clear that this isn't about action anymore. It's about consequences. Everything Dwight has done, every deal he's made, every lie he's told, it's all coming due. There's also a symbolic undercurrent running through the trailer. The recurring imagery of fire and ash isn't just for visual effect. Fire in Tulsa King has always represented rebirth, destruction paving the way for something new. The explosion in the skyline could be more than a literal act of war. It might symbolize the burning away of Dwight's old self. Maybe this is where he finally lets go of the illusion that he can have both power and peace. Maybe this is where the king finally becomes the outcast again, not because he's defeated, but because the throne was never meant for him to keep. The fan community is already buzzing with theories. Some say Episode 5 will mark the beginning of a civil war inside Dwight's own operation. Others think it might introduce a new power from New York who forces Dwight to make a choice that costs him everything. A few even believe we'll see the return of a face from Season 1, someone thought to be gone for good, stepping back into the story just as everything starts to fall apart. Whatever happens, the energy surrounding this episode feels bigger than usual, like the midpoint of a story that's about to explode into something unforgettable. Emotionally, this is where Dwight's story might shift from ambition to reflection. For the first time, he's realizing that control isn't power, it's a prison. He's surrounded by people who want to use him, fear him, or replace him. And yet, he still carries the same code of honor that's both his greatest strength and his biggest flaw. There's a look in his eyes in the trailer that says he's ready to face what's coming, even if it breaks him. That's what makes this story so human, beneath all the crime, violence, and bravado. It's about a man trying to outrun his past and learning that you can't outrun who you are. By the end of the trailer, when the music fades and the screen goes black, one truth echoes louder than anything else: the age of the Tulsa King is changing. The empire Dwight built may fall, but the legend he's become will only grow stronger in the ruins. Episode 5 is shaping up to be the episode that defines not just this season, but the entire series. The stakes are personal, the betrayals are real, and the fire that started in Tulsa is about to spread far beyond its borders. When the credits roll next week, fans won't be asking who wins, they'll be asking who survives. Because in Dwight Manfredi's world, there are no clean endings, only ashes, echoes, and the faint sound of a king refusing to kneel.